welcome back. And of course, some big games on this afternoon, apart from the 94.7 match of the day, which is the Bell Post Hill Panthers take on Bannockburn. But out at the Winter Resort, the Belmont Lions, we haven't had a win this year yet, and perhaps it won't be today because they take on the North Geelong Footy Club on the rebound, Dale.
Won't make any difference on the rebound from whatever. No, actually, probably the topic of discussion we had in the box on the weekend was how many goals or how many weeks it would take for Paul Briggy to get to 100. We sort of labelled it if he averaged 3, he was going to end up with 86, and I think he got 7 on the weekend, so he's well in advance of that. He could get 100 this week.
What do you have to kick? What's he on now? 80?
Nah, he's
70 something.
72 or something.
Yeah, he only needs 28. He gets 28 kicks.
Actually, don't you blokes make these silly comments. North Geelong struggle out at Belmont, no matter where they're on the ladder.
They might have done it in recent years, Dick, and the side that they've been coming up against will be completely different. They won't struggle this week because if they do, don't worry about training Saturday morning. They'll be training every day of the week for the next 7 days. Frankie will be that peeved with them. So, no, they'll win easily. So
I did hear that Cogsy might be elevated to the first after his magnificent bench job.
Or someone's going to stop Briggy, might sit on him.
I can't say that. Jason, Belmont Lions or the North Geelong Magpies, in a word?
North.
Sure. Well, that's 3 words.
One word, North.
That's 3 words, isn't it? Fair enough. Out at the Inverleigh Oval, they take on Anarchy, and of course the Hawks and Anarchy basically playing for a bit of pride at the moment, but it's always a bit of feeling between the two country cousins out there. Jason, Inverleigh, too good?
I don't know.
Not sure.
Inverleigh, they had a tussle last week with Geelong West and just got over the line. We nearly went to that game, actually.
Leary Oval, East Geelong Eagles take on Winchelsea. And Dale, I'll go to you. East Geelong, you think it's just be a walk in the park of this game for them?
It won't be a walk in the park. I think Winchelsea will trouble them.
A jog at the Oval?
Yeah, no, well, you could probably say that. Look, I think Winchelsea at their very, very best can trouble this side. I think just down back when they've got to contain Scroblak, Closter, O'Leary, probably the Coys, Hickey maybe pushing through there. I think it's just a little bit too much. So I think their forward power will set them up pretty well. As I said, they're pretty reliable right through the board, East Geelong, and they're probably now starting to show their true worth, and they just can't afford to drop the game. If they finish 4th or 5th, I really think it's going to be hard for them to finish and to actually win a grand final. I think the bottom 2 sides in that this year won't make the grand final. It'll be the top 3. That'll be the way to go. The easiest run home, and that'll be true to word this year. So East Geelong won't lose.
They won't lose.
They won't lose.
You're restoring it'll be a fairly close game.
I just said it'll be a close game, but they won't lose this game. It's too important for them to lose.
Jason, can you put some sanity back into this? I don't.
No, I can't.
I don't believe he actually said that it'll be a close game. I can't see them getting within 10 goals.
Well, we got that on tape, haven't we?
We've got it on tape.
Magnificent.
East Geelong will win by more than 10 goals.
All right.
Well, Winchelsea are not the worst team in the competition. So
no, they're not.
So I think they're going to be okay. East Geelong, though, will set themselves now. They've got 6 weeks until, and we've worked that out, 6 rounds to the finals. And they have to finish in the top 3 to have a fair income dip at it. I think they need to get all their blokes back on the park. They need to make sure they get the blokes, the players, where they want to play them for the rest of the season and going into the finals. Scroblak needs to sit there and go, right, who does he want where? And he needs to start it from now, not to move blokes around. And if they do that, and then they can consistently do it for the next 5 or 6 weeks, they're going to set themselves up for a big back-to-back tilt. So I don't think they'll lose. It will be tighter than a few people expect, but I think East will win.
At the Devil's Playground, Corio take on Geelong West, and one would think that this will be a pretty close game this time. This one, Dale. Well, it will be close this one, won't it?
Yep.
Thank you.
And if you ask me, I honestly couldn't tell you who's going to win the game. I do anywhere near their ability could really test Corio. If Corio have got all their players up, and we talk about the same ones week in, week out, but guys like Danny Ruck and O'Toole and Potter, if he's going to play, and Stewart, all these type of blokes have got to be there. Hune, who's been a great player for him, a great pickup this year, only a kid. But, as I said, I'm really struggling to find a winner here. It could be a draw. You might be right, Dick. It might be a draw.
I didn't say it was going to be a draw. You're making all these silly statements this morning.
I'm not making silly statements. I just can't really see either side. Cryer were bitterly disappointing last week, and the morale of the club's probably worse it's ever been for a long, long time. So West are up and about a little bit, so it might be a game that they really need to pick themselves up. Cryer, if they've got any pride, they won't lose the home.
Yeah, Jason, I think what Dale's trying to say is they're probably 2 clubs that I've got no idea what Dale's trying to say. But I thought I'd pretend I knew what he was trying to say. The bottom line is these 2 clubs are struggling. The best thing about it will be, Jason, that one of them is going to have a good Saturday night for a change.
Yeah, well,
Unless it's a draw.
apart from Dale's draw, somebody's going to have a victory. I think, Corio would be bitterly disappointed with what they put up against Thompson last week and will want to show a bit better. Geelong West did really well against Inverleigh, and it might be the time for them. I was nearly going to pick Corio, but I might pick the Cheetahs. I'll pick Geelong West.
You're going to have the West?
Yeah, we'll go with the West.
Well, who are you going to pick?
There you go.
I'm going to pick Corio because it's played at home. The only reason I'm picking Corio,
I was going to do that, but let's go Geelong West.
I'm not going to pick a draw, though. I would never stick my neck out and do that. Mostly I haven't got a
Where
neck
is
to
it in
stick
there?
Don't start you, mate. And, of course, the other big game on this afternoon, it must have been a toss-up, which was going to be the match of the day this afternoon, up at the Duck Pond. What are you looking at me like that for, you blokes? Jeez. You don't reckon Werribee Centrals and Thompson will be close to being the match of the round?
Well, you said off air that Thompson didn't have a balls for all win this game.
I didn't say a word about Thompson.
Well, he was talking about it. He said, we don't have to worry about it. We've got Belmont Lions, we'll beat them, and we'll be right, because we'll be getting clear because Werribee will beat Thompson.
I know that, but I just think, well, we're running out of time. Thank goodness we're running out of time, because you blokes aren't talking any sense now. But Werribee Centrals or Thompson, very quickly, though.
Werribee used the rotations very well last week. I'm not a big fan of these rotations the club are using. I think there's too much AFL coming back into our game.
I don't rotate.
No, they need to get the best players on the ground and put them forward. If they're still going to have a spell, let them get up forward and kick some goals. Werribee will win.
In a word, Jace.
Werribee.
Thank you.
Sorry.
That takes care for the show for another week, folks. Have a great afternoon at the Ring Road Recreation Reserve, boys.
We will.
Well,
always do.
Jace,
yes,
fantastic. We'll be back again next Saturday, and of course, we're looking forward to the finals coming up. Once again, hopefully, we'll give you a live telecast of the GDFL Grand Final coming from the St Albans Reserve, but we will confirm that at a later date. Have a great morning in footy. Watch the rest of Channel 31 this morning. Lots of sporting action coming up. We'll see you all again next Saturday morning.